Shall we begin?
Let's begin now.
Hi everyone, it's Doreen, and I'm back today with, guess what? A birthday card. So today's cartridge that we'll be using to make this card is, can you guess? That's right, the Hello Kitty Greetings cartridge. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Okay everybody, so let's bring up our supplies so we can get started making the card. Now this card measures a little different, and you'll see why once we start putting it together. So my card measures 5.5 by 7. And what you're going to do is you're going to score that at 2 3/4 inches. So then your card will fold like this. And the reason why is because what I've gone ahead and done is I've taken the Martha Stewart ribbon loop punch, which looks like this, and I've taken some piece of scrap cardstock and punched out this border. And this measures 5 inches in length because you want it to be the same length as the length of your card. And this piece right here, I just took and made that, I believe it's 3/4 of an inch. So now what I want to happen is I want this to line up like so. So the edge of the ribbon loop punch is going to meet the edge of your card. And then this half is the half you're going to tape down to your card itself. So let's take the ATG gun and we're going to put some tape along the edge here. And you just want to go on that edge right there. You don't want to do the whole entire thing because this is only going to come, you're going to line this up like so, and then you're going to press down so that when you open your card, it will also open up the border as well. And I did get a little of the tape along here on the side, but I'm just going to run my finger along there and remove that. So now my tape has been removed and I have the front part of my card. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and add my top layer. So now this top layer of cardstock is from a paper pack that I picked up at Tuesday morning, and I've had this quite a while. It's the Berry Sweet Matte Pad, and it's a K & Company, and it is also double-sided paper. So, and we will be using this side as well once we put our little kitty together. So, but for now we're going to use this side. And this piece of cardstock measures 2.5 by 5.25. And that is going to lay right here like so. So we're going to take our ATG gun again, and we're going to get some tape on the other side here, and we want to get some tape along our edges. Move that out the way for just a second. And then I'm going to open up my card, and I'm just going to line this up along here. Now I didn't ink any of my edges on this card, which I typically normally do, but I decided I didn't want to on this card because I didn't want to take away from the pattern paper. So now we've got, it looks like 3 layers of our card. So now before we go ahead and add our little kitty, what I want to do is I'm just going to lay everything down so I can measure out and look to see how it's going to look on the card. And I have designed it on the Gypsy, but now that I have my pieces actually cut out, I can lay down, and I know what paper I'm using. I can actually lay this out and look at it to see if that's actually the way I want it. And I'm just back up here just a little bit. Okay. So we're going to place our little kitty right here, and then I want to take and stamp out a little greeting that says thinking of you, and it is from an Inka-Dinka-Doo stamp set, and this stamp set is called Just Sayings. And since I want my little thinking of you to be right here, I'm just going to put my stamp down right there. And I'm going to eyeball this. I don't think I'm going to use the Stamp-A-Majig to do this. So I'm just going to lay that there for right now. And then I'm going to put my butterfly up here at the top. So now, this is the way I want my card to look. So why don't we stamp the thinking of you, and then we can add the kitty and the butterfly. So I'm just going to pull this up for now, and I think I will use the Stamp-A-Majig. That way I know I'm getting exactly where I want it. And I'm going to put my little kitty back for now, and then I'm going to get out the Stamp-A-Majig and we'll go ahead and stamp that down. Okay, so what I've done is I've already stamped out the thinking of you onto my Stamp-A-Majig sheet, and I'm using the Stampin' Up! Orchid Opulence. I believe that's how it's pronounced. So we're going to open that up, and I'm going to leave the Hello Kitty there just for right now because I want to line this up and make sure that I get it where I want it. We're going to move the kitty over for just a moment, and this is where I want the thinking of you to be, right there. So I'm going to remove the kitty. I'm just going to straighten that out just a little bit and line up my Stamp-A-Majig and pull up my sheet, and then we'll ink up our stamp. Make sure we don't ink it and put it on there upside down, because I've been known to do that. And then we'll just press down. So now I have my image. So now what we'll do is we'll add the rest of our embellishments. So now let's talk about the kitty. As I said in the beginning, we are using the Hello Kitty Greetings cartridge. The handbook looks like this. And this is a really old one, and I'm not even sure if you can get this one anymore. I got this a couple of years ago at Joann's, and believe it or not, it was on the clearance rack for $3.99, which was definitely a good deal. But I'm sure I've seen it out on eBay, and I think I've actually seen it at one of my Joann's, but it wasn't marked $3.99. I don't know if that was someone marked that by mistake or what, but I was lucky to get it. And at the time that I actually bought it, I thought I couldn't think of a reason that I would ever use the cartridge, but for $3.99 I wasn't going to pass it up. So now, our little kitty is on page 39 of the handbook, and I've cut out the, it says HK5, which is Hello Kitty 5. So I've gone ahead and cut that out in black cardstock. Now, this is actually a lot of paper piecing, and it does take some time to put this together. But in the end, I thought it was worth it. When I was first putting it together with all these pieces, I didn't think it was going to work out, but it did once I got it all together. And I've cut it out at 4 inches. So that is, let's get our gypsy out. So we'll go to that cartridge, and it is key number 12, and it looks like this. So once I have that cut out, I then also cut out the face is a separate piece along with the little paws here and here and here. So that is what you'll do is you'll hit your, it's called white fur, the white fur slash bow and nose. You'll hit that key, and then you'll hit key number 12 again, and you'll get this. And it's also the balloon that is in the middle here, the balloon cover. I'm sorry, the balloon cover right here in the middle. So what I did was I cut this out in white, and then because I wanted to use the glitter paper, I went ahead and hid all of this and just cut out the balloon. So all of that was all cut at 4 inches. Now to get the clothing and the clothing and the top covers of the balloons, if you want them to be a different color, you're going to hit key number 12 again, but you're also going to hit the key that is called close, and that would be this key right here, and then key number 12. And that's how you get your close. And then you'll hit it again, the close, the shift, and key 12 to get your cover or your top covers of your balloons, which are these right here. And everything I said is cut in 4 inches. So now, to get your bow, which I didn't say before, you will hit the bow and nose layers white and fur, but then when you hit that key, you'll also hit the shift key, and that gives you your bow. So, and your nose. So it is, like I said before, a lot of paper piecing, but if you like paper piecing, then you should have no problems with doing this. So now I've got it all together, and what I've done is I've also popped it up using some foam tape on the back. And then for my letters, what I did was I took a stamp set that came with my art philosophy cartridge. It was the Close to My Heart, and it's called the alphabet set, and basically it just looks like this, and I'm sorry for this glare. And I just went ahead and stamped those out, the letters of her name, which is Allie, on some scrap cardstock using my black Memento ink. And I'm going to turn that light on there. And then I just punched those out using my Stampin' Up! 1/2 inch punch. And then I also went ahead and popped those up as well with some foam dots. So we're going to take all the foam backing off. Okay, now that I have all of my foam backing off, it looks like I lost a piece of her bow. So we're going to get the two-way zig pin out real quick and add some glue to that so we can get that back on there. Okay, everybody, so it's all put back together. So now let's just add Hello Kitty to our card. And I'm going to place it right there. So now what I want to do is I want to add my butterflies. So now the butterflies are also from the Hello Kitty cartridge, and they are on page 37. The butterfly looks like this. So I've cut the butterfly, and then I've also cut the black out. And then what you'll also have to cut is you'll have to cut or hit the close, and you'll be cutting out this piece and this piece. And that's basically the covers for, I'm not sure what these are called, but you know what I mean. So now, if I'm using my gypsy, let's bring that out. And we'll go to the butterfly. So the butterfly is key number 10, and it looks like this. And so I've cut that out, and I've cut 3 of them, and I've cut them at 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch. Here's the 1 inch, and this is actually going to go on the envelope. And then 1 1/4, and then I've cut it at 1 inch. Now I haven't put the 1 inch together because I'm going to show you what I did for the other 2. So now that I have, once you have all of that cut out, and I'm going to go to the gypsy and show you about these layers on the top here, right here. So you're going to hit your, once again, it's called the close, and you'll hit key number 10. And so that's how you will get, it looks like that. That's how you'll get this right here, this top layer. That's if you want to do that. And then to get the piece in the middle, or the middle of the butterfly, you're going to hit the close key, but you'll also hit your shift key, and you'll get this. So that I've all cut that out 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch, and 1 1/2 inch. So now I also went ahead and cut out the black out. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted, once I put the butterfly on the card, I wanted to have my, what are these called? The wings of the butterfly kind of stand up. And I didn't want to pop up the back of this. So what I've done is I've taken some tape and this is this thin strip of mounting tape, and I bought this a year or 2 ago at a rubber stamp show, and I wish that I had gotten more. I'm hoping that when I go to the rubber stamp show in April they'll have this, because I really like this. I don't even know who it's by because I threw the packaging away. So what I've done, or what I'm going to do with this one, is I have my butterfly all put together, and I'm just going to take a thin strip of this and run it along the back here. And then I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. I guess after doing those Gypsy 101 tutorials, it seems like I'm so far away in the camera. So now that I've got that on the back of there, I'm just going to flip this over. We don't need the tape anymore. And I'm going to line this up in the middle, or line the 2 up together like so. So now when I go to put it down on the card, I can pull my wings up. So let's do that. Let's take our Tombow adhesive, and we're going to get some tape on the back of our butterfly. And this may be a little hard to get on there because we've got that thick piece of mounting tape in the middle there. But it should be okay. And then for the antennas, I'm going to take my two-way zig pin and run that across there. And then what I'm going to do is just lay this down flat on the card, like so. And I'm just going to be pushing down that back piece, which is actually the blackout. And that will be the only thing that's actually laying flat on the card. The rest, the butterfly wings, will pop up. So let's add the second one, and we're going to add the second one down here in the corner, along here. So we'll take our tape once again, and maybe we should use a two-way with this one because it's so small. So I'm going to just use the two-way zig pin and get tape all the way around here. And on our antennas. And then we'll do, once again, we'll take this and we'll put it down here. And actually we have to be careful because of... So I'm going to lift that up because I just remembered if I stick that down there, it's going to stick to the back of the card. So I probably shouldn't have gotten the two-way, or maybe... Well, the cat's down. Kitty cat is down there now, so we can't lift it up because I was thinking I would move it over some. But I think I can still work with this because we'll just do this like so. And press that down. And then on the other side there, I'm going to make sure that I don't press that down just yet. I'm going to let that kind of dry so it doesn't stick to that. Or maybe off camera, I'll try to get that off, that glue off of there so it doesn't stick, because you don't want it to stick down here on your card. So when you're making this, if you decide to make this card, don't put the glue everywhere on the back of the butterfly. You might even want to just put it on the ribbon loop and just have it stick that way. That way you know you won't be getting it all over the back of the butterfly and the butterfly ends up sticking to your card. So that should be okay. So that's it for the outside of my card. So now for the inside, what I've done is I've gone ahead and taken that same stamp set and just stamped out "Wishing you a happy birthday." And I've once again used the Stampin' Up! Orchard Opulence, or Opulence. And I also went ahead and took my Fancy Tags die and cut out this. Now, what I did to do this is, this was scraps left over from this sheet. And I didn't want to just not use the scraps, because I believe in using up as much of my scraps as I can. So, but it wasn't enough to actually cut the entire piece out the long way. So what I did was I cut as much as I could, or with my Big Shot, and then I went back and redid these. I could have added them on the end here, but I decided the other reason why I didn't want it to be the long way is because once I laid it down and close up the card, you could see these hanging out. And I didn't want that. I wanted it to be this way. So I just cut them off and re-glued them on to this side. And I've marked where it should line up so that you won't see it on this side of the card. So now what we'll do is we'll just take our Tombow adhesive and get some tape on here, and I'm going to take the two-way again and go along my edges here because the tape is too wide to use. And then I'm going to take where I've marked where I want it to go with a pencil very lightly, and then I'm just going to press down. So that should stay down. So that's the inside of our card. So now you know what I have to add. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to take and make my bling some of the colors that are in the card, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back with the finished card. Okay everybody, so I am back now with the finished card. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and added my bling. So now, I think I've talked about this before, but what I basically do is I buy I have the clear bling, and these are not the self-adhesive to go with the iRock tool, but you could just go ahead and buy the clear ones, and then to me it's easier to go ahead and glue down your bling first, and then once you have it glued down, I then take my big market pens and I just go ahead and color in the bling, the color that I want. And this does not rub off, as you can see. It's just not rubbing off. Well, just a little bit, but I found that it has stayed perfectly fine on my bling. So that's it. That's the completed Hello Kitty birthday card. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.